Welcome, guys. It's another episode of the Neutral Corner. It's Danny Glover, and it's proudly sponsored by Treasure Boxing Club. And today we've got the #1 ranked light heavyweight in Roseanna Cox. Welcome, guys. It's another episode of the Neutral. So yeah, how's it going? How's your day been?
It's been alright. Had a massage. Just chilling on Sundays.
Okay, I see you got some bruising on the shoulder. Staying ready.
Yeah, from Ruta, my sponsor. She kills me every week. It's good.
Yeah. So no, thanks for coming on. You are officially our first woman guest. So
Really?
Yeah, I've tried to have about 3 on. They've all bailed out or said no. I don't know why, but yeah. Finally got
First of many.
You've made history.
Oh, thank you.
On the Neutral Corner. So yeah, this is a show which the public and the viewers and the boxing fraternity and the wider conglomerate get to know more about you as a person. So yeah, we like to take it back to the beginning. So where are you from? Where did you grow up?
So originally from New Zealand, born and raised in New Zealand. My dad's Jamaican and my mum's English. So, yeah, they met over there and yeah, born and raised there.
Okay, so what part of New Zealand?
Auckland.
Oh, okay, the main capital. Yeah, so that was interesting that you said that your dad's Jamaican, because I remember on your profile, it used to just have the New Zealand and British flags. I was thinking, I swear what is she like? There's got to be something. There's either Africa or Caribbean there, but I think what flag? Unless she's like proper Samoan or something. So, and then after I see the Jamaican flag, I was like, oh, okay, makes sense now. So yeah. All
typical
good.
Mixed race, Caribbean and.
So is your mum
English.
like Maui type New Zealand or?
No, my mum's English. My mum's from Windsor.
Oh, Windsor and Eton. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So how did they meet over there then?
So my mum married a British guy when she was young, like 20, and he took her over there. And then my dad was a musician and he was like touring the world and went there and for some reason ended up staying there. And then he was actually my half brother, like from my mum's son. He was his guitar teacher.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know the full story, but obviously my mom's seen the nice Jamaican man in New Zealand.
Come on. We're irresistible, you know? So what music do you do? Like reggae, revival, ragga?
My dad?
Yeah.
Now, I think now he's even still in a band. He does reggae out there now with his friends, but he's into all sorts, like blues and yeah. He's very talented. Yeah, he plays like the keyboard, the bass, guitar. I've seen him like have a jam on the drums before. Like he's very musically talented. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's good. I like that. So then, so you was born out in New Zealand. So then, did you went like school and stuff? Did you go to school out there?
Yeah.
So how was school out there? And what was like life like as a child out there? Because I don't know anyone from actual New Zealand.
I mean, I'm the only mixed race person I know, other than my sister, in New Zealand, probably until I went to high school when I was about 14. So I remember like being a kid and people asking my mum like, oh, is she adopted? Or, you know, why asking me, why is your mum white and you're brown? Like it was just like such a, I don't know, I guess it was like a unheard of thing to have a different race parents, which I didn't really understand, obviously. There was a lot of like racism, in New Zealand growing up, but you don't really, I don't know, I didn't really understand it, I guess, as a kid growing up.
Yeah. So what was your grades like? What type of student was you in school?
I would say I was I was smart in school. I had decent grades on most things, but not that focused. Like naturally intelligent, but not like a someone that really valued
academic education.
Yeah.
Okay.
There wasn't like a lot of pressure from home for me to like get certain grades or, you know, like checking things or I don't feel like that was something that was like prioritized growing up. But I still, you know, I finished school, I passed all my subjects, I went to university, I was studying business, like more interested in like I was quite good at maths, interested in like the finance and accounting, but I actually dropped out of uni to box probably like a year and a half, 2 years in.
Okay. So then you're saying that there wasn't much focus and emphasis on pushing you down the academic route. So so I know your dad was a musician, so what did your mum do for a living?
My mum was a social worker.
Okay.
I think my dad like obviously did care, like, but my parents split when I was 6, so I lived with my mum, and my dad was kind of like he was obviously wanted me to do well at school, but he wasn't. I saw him on the weekends. It wasn't so much like my dad's dyslexic, and I remember taking like homework to my mum, and she'd be like, "Oh, I don't know, Roseanna, I don't understand it." You know, like they couldn't understand what I had to do. So yeah, there wasn't a lot of help. I feel like I just kind of cruised through school myself. So yeah.
Okay, that's understandable. So did you go college before uni, or was it
college? It's different in New Zealand. So we have like primary school. So you'd be like 6 or 5 until maybe 10 or 11, like year 6. Yeah. And then we have an intermediate school, which is year 7 and 8. Yeah, and then you go to high school in year 9, and then you'd be in high school, and then when you're 16, I think, like around that's when you guys go to college, right? Yeah, so we stay in the same school from year 9 to year 13.
Okay, like sixth form.
Sixth form. I can't remember now, but yeah, I know you stay until you're like year 13. Yeah. So what, in year 11? Do you do years?
11, 16. So you basically stay in school till you're 18.
Yeah. Okay. So
I think nowadays, I think kids over here have to stay till 18. Okay. It's a new rule. It's been made.
Like you have to go to college, basically.
No, I think they keep you in school till you're 18 now.
Oh, I don't even
something
know
like that. Or
you
have to, you have to stay. It's something like that.
Yeah.
Because I know it's not. You can't just like.
You can in New Zealand. You can drop out at 16. Like what's that? Sixth form.
16 is like you finish year 11 and you're in sixth form.
Sixth form. Yeah. So you can drop out. And you're kind of given the freedom to like more pursue the subjects that you want. Like you have to take the certain subjects until you get to like that age, and then you have more freedom to pick like what interests you. So I guess it is kind of like college, but we don't have like separate schools. You have to finish high school to go to university. Otherwise you end up doing like a little like, I don't know, like a diploma before or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to have like what is it? NZCEA, which is like the school levels.
GCSEs.
I guess it's similar to that. 16, 17, 18, you get those. And if you don't have those, you can't go to university.
Okay, yeah, like GNVQ. And I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Must be similar.
Yeah, it's got to be similar, but it'll come under different associations. So, so then you said that you dropped out of uni to pursue boxing. So what was it about boxing which sparked your interest? Because I know in New Zealand that's not really a hotbed for sports. I thought you'd more go down the rugby route or something.
You know what? My mum never let me play rugby. She said it's too aggressive. It's a thug sport, which is so funny now that I do boxing. But yeah, I rode horses all through school. I started riding horses when I was 12 or 13. I was having lessons every week. I must have been 10 when I started having lessons. I got my first pony when I was like 12 or 13, and then I used to ride horses like after school every single day, on the weekends, be there for like 6 hours, 8 hours, just obsessed with riding horses.
What was her name? His name, the pony?
Oh, I had lots.
No, the first one.
The first one, Rolly.
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 What, Romero, yeah? Come on. So,
Yeah, Rolly. Yeah,
my
he was
God.
cute. Crazy. I used to fall off so much. But yeah, I had horses, so I didn't have a lot of time for other sports. I did netball in school as well, like just to do a team sport. But yeah, it was all about my horses. But yeah, dropping out of uni, I think I was actually doing well at university, like especially in like the finance and accounting things that I was focused on doing. And but I think I just realized that I didn't want to get caught in this rat race. Like I was just kind of, you know, you're growing up and you're seeing like how the world works, and I'd started finding out about, remember like The Secret, and like The Secret had come out. Like I don't know if it was like, it must have been out before then, but I just found out about it. So I was like realizing, you know, there's more to life than just working a 9-to-5 job and you know, doing something that you don't particularly like just to pay the bills and maybe go drinking on the weekends. I just didn't see that life for myself. And I'd tried working with horses, you know, like it's a very affluent sport. Like I couldn't be one of those top riders that travels the world and that, but I tried working for other people that did have that kind of money, and it was just horrible, really. Like there was a lot of racism in that. Like I got called some crazy stuff. Like I remember even one family I worked for, they were like, "Oh, you're like our little black slave." Like I remember that the other day.
I thought you was gonna say Black Beauty or something.
No, black slave. I got called all sorts. Like honestly, like looking back, how I got treated doing those jobs, and obviously I realized I don't want to. That was kind of when I stopped riding as much, and then yeah, just I was so open to the idea of finding a sport. I you know, I loved sport all through school, the riding horses, all of that, but so open to finding something that I could just throw myself into and do, instead of having this what would you call it, like 9-to-5, like
just conventional
exactly
conventional working life.
Yeah. I just knew at 18, 19, I just knew like I can't do this. Like.
So what's business like out there? Because from what I've seen of pictures of New Zealand, I've never been, it looks very green. So what are like the main sort of like occupations out there? Like what do people do for 9 to 5?
Like always say like, oh, there's so many sheep and it's like just green and beautiful. Like I don't know where that comes from. Like obviously we have
Google
a city
search, but obviously they're probably not going to show us because do you know what I've noticed by traveling, when you go to places, it's nothing like how you
think of how people would imagine Nigeria or Ghana and like
Oxfam,
ignorant
£2 a month flies.
Thank you. Like that's how I feel. Like obviously it's ignorant, but any person that's not really looked into how these countries actually are going to be painted a picture of how it is. Do you know what I mean? And it's not like New Zealand, like Auckland City, like it's like somewhere in London.
Oh.
Like, but then it's right on the water. Like they call it the city of sails. It's right on the sea. Like it is beautiful, but it's like built up like in the city. We have like a central business district, so like all of our like city like workers would be in the center. Have you been to Manchester?
Yeah.
Where it's like the city's in the middle, and then the further out you go, like the bigger the places would get. They'd have a bigger backyard. It's like the cities and it's like
London, Canary Wharf.
Yeah, but I feel like London's so like scattered. Like you have like the more out you go from like the center of Auckland, the more rural it gets. Yeah. So that's probably more what you're seeing. And like obviously like the South Island, and that's beautiful. That's where they have all like the mountains and all of that. But
okay, that's what they show us,
Yeah, but yeah, so I mean the same careers like banking and I don't know what, but yeah, like the same careers would be there. Maybe not as good money, but yeah, it's all the same things.
Yeah, but you got to equate it to the cost of living and stuff as well, so it won't be as high. But yeah, it all works itself out, I imagine. Yeah. So then you did study finances. So did you work in financing out there?
No, I was I was just studying. I was like working part-time and like in retail. And then, yeah.
Well, what shops was you in?
You guys call it Forever 21?
Oh, yeah, I know that shop.
I worked in there.
My first job was in Sports World. You know it as Sports Direct now because it's called Sports Direct.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It used to be called Sports World back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
My first job was McDonald's.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
No, never. My Uncle Raymond said if he ever saw me at McDonald's, he'd throw the drink over me. So I never applied. Some of my friends applied.
McDonald's is a good job.
Yeah, 'cause you get paid every week or something like that. Or 2 weeks.
You get paid every week in New Zealand regardless, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This monthly thing in here.
Over here, yeah.
That got me when I moved here. I was so used to budgeting like weekly, and I came here and
yeah, you gotta survive that month, man. That's literally check to check. So yeah, you gotta be very careful of it. Some people, they do the BMF thing and just blow the money and it's gone, and then they're on beans on toast.
For the rest of the month, that took me a while to adjust to. I'll be honest.
Yeah. So then so what was your first boxing club you walked into then? Into boxing. Sorry, you didn't actually answer. What was it about boxing? What attracted you? Because as I said, I thought you would have more. Oh,
it didn't at all. So I was in uni. So when I was in uni, I was training with the track team, like to do like 100, 200 meters, and that was like I was going to do that on the side of uni. Well, I was. And then like slowly I just got more and more obsessed with that, and I was like skipping classes to go to the gym and like training with the boys that were doing that. And then I went on the track, like we'd been doing all the weights and like explosive training and stuff, like, and then I got on the track and I got really bad stress fractures from like actually doing the sprints. Like my legs basically weren't conditioned to I don't know how fast I could go or whatever it was, like, because I always used to like I never did track at school, but I would always like win the sports days and stuff. Yeah, like
well, with them Jamaican genetics, like, in New Zealand you kind of got an advantage.
I know, yeah. So then, so I thought like, that's like perfect for me. So I'm doing that, and then so I got these stress fractures. So basically, I was just looking for something to do to keep fit for track while I couldn't run, and then someone just took me to a fitness class. And I literally, like, I don't know, I've got a very obsessive personality. And after that first session, I just knew, like, this is what I'm going to do. Like,
So was it like a boxer size class?
Yeah, but there was a coach there who kind of, like, took me to the side because I'd never done anything, like, I'd never done boxing before. I knew nothing about boxing. Yeah. And he was like, he was showing me and he was like, we can do you like Mike Tyson? And I was like, looked at a little video and I was like, yeah, I like that. He was like, hey, that's peekaboo style. So we're going to do that. And I was like, okay. So he was teaching me and I was like, and the feeling of punching something, like, was just the most incredible thing I'd ever felt. Like, I think I had so much like pain and anger inside me that I'd never got to like get out before. I was such like a timid kid and so quiet. Like I actually had a speech impediment like till I was about 13, 14. Like I had a like Mike Tyson lisp, like bad lisp. I couldn't even say my own name. Like that's how I used to talk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and like people, like, I'd get asked, what I used to dread the first year of school because people would be like, oh, what's your name? And I was like, I wouldn't be able to say my own name. They'd be like, Roseanna, like with an F. I'm like, no, with an S. Like I just, so like, so I didn't know if around my people, obviously I would have been like playful and loud and whatnot, but I was quite quiet and timid, and like there was trouble at home that I'd like, I just had a lot of built up anger that I'd never been able to express. I didn't fight at school. I wasn't I wasn't aggressive or anything like that. So this getting to finally punch something and let out something was just addictive to me. Yeah. I mean, to this day it still is now. So yeah, that's why when I left that gym that night, like just on a high, like, Googling Mike Tyson. Like from then I started watching Mike Tyson, and he was only like that. He was the only one I wanted to watch. Like I just loved his style, and you know, finding out about female boxers. And there was a boxer, Daniela Smith. She was a champion, and you know, just like I just loved everything about it.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. So did you watch any form of boxing prior, like growing up, or know
I
about any
hated
boxers?
violence, anything violent. Like, I think Mike Tyson, I remember like probably my dad watching boxing. Yeah. But just being like, oh, like I don't want to watch it.
You're not watching it with him, okay.
Yeah.
I hear that. So so then did you start having any amateur bouts?
Yeah, there? So I got sent like straight in New Zealand they separate the men's and women's national team. Yeah. So the have a drink.
Shout out to Ragatonic, the show sponsor. You know what it is. It's Danny Glover, and it's an amazingly smooth premium tonic with natural cherry, and there's blue raspberry, and there's a grape one there. So yeah.
I won't be joining you for a drink. Yeah. So they separate the teams. And so I got sent to. I'd been to like a couple of gyms, and I don't know why I didn't settle. I don't know if they weren't training women or they weren't training fighters. I don't really remember. I didn't understand at the time like what amateurs were. I said I wanted to do like a white collar fight just to like have the experience. Yeah. And then I've ended up in the New Zealand women's gym. Cameron Todd as the coach, and he had Alexis Pritchard as his wife and his fighter. She went to the 2012 Olympics, so she was like a massive inspiration in the sport in New Zealand. Mm-hmm. One of the first women to fight at the Olympics, and lots of good women in that gym. So yeah, I started training there, and I just said to him like, all the women in that gym were on the New Zealand team. So I was like, well, can I make I didn't really understand that, you know, being a national boxer in New Zealand doesn't get you money. I just thought, well, if I make the New Zealand team, I'm going to drop out of uni. Yeah. Well, I was like, that was my career. Like, I'm going to make a career out of it. Yeah. And, yeah, so that was where I ended up training. And that's where I had all of my amateur fights, in New Zealand was with Cam Todd out of that gym there.
Shout out to Cam Todd. So how many did you have?
In my first, I think I had 7 or 8. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. My first 3 were international, because there's not many women in New Zealand. Like, well, I think there are now. There probably are now, but then there was only like a couple of women at my weight, and one of them was representing New Zealand abroad, and there was another show they offered for us to go to Tahiti. Okay. So I got to go to Tahiti for 2 weeks for my first amateur fights. I went out there, and
big living.
Yeah. And then I actually made the New Zealand team, and then I went to the World Championships 2014 for New Zealand.
So did you meet like Joseph Parker during that journey then? Because I know he was international for New Zealand.
Was he so I never really met or mingled with any of the men's team. Okay. Because like the tournaments that I went on were like separate. Women's tournaments, and then the training was separate. I remember like when they were preparing maybe for the Commonwealth Games, we went to the 2 teams got together, but I wasn't going to the Commonwealth Games, so I didn't I don't know. Yeah. No. It was I don't know how it is now, but it was very separate at that time.
Yeah, a lot of the tournaments there are women tournaments and men tournaments.
Yeah.
But then when I think it's only when you get to the actual main thing like Olympics, Commonwealth, World Championships, and everyone just goes in.
Even the World Championships are separate.
Oh, was it?
Mm.
Oh, I did. Oh man. Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it was then. I don't know, but yeah, interesting that they separated the teams. But yeah, it was good. It was good. And then I came here, 2016.
Mm-hmm. So what brought on the move to the big old Great Britain?
I think I just realised, like I said, I dropped out of uni for it. I'd not seen it as a hobby. I think a lot of people kind of saw it as a hobby on the side of what they were doing, but I'd seen it as a career. I'd seen it as something that I was going to dedicate my life to doing. I just had this strong sense that it was like a purpose of mine to box, and that something big was going to come from it. And I just didn't believe that staying in New Zealand I was going to achieve those big ambitions that I had. And I think I made the right decision.
So did you ever think to go over to Australia? Because I know that's got more of a boxing vibe and it's closer. Or did you think maybe...
I didn't think to go to Australia.
To UK because your mum, so you thought...
Yeah, I mean, at that time, I don't think Australia was a boxing nation. I mean, even now, the Opetaia fought last night as a world champion. No one... I don't want to say no one knew about him, but I'd never seen him before. I'd never heard of him.
Oh, I'd seen him. I'd only seen him... That's the third time I've seen him, to be fair.
Yeah.
But the average Joe... They'd never seen him fight.
And he's a world champion.
Yeah, and there's George Kambosos.
Yeah.
What's his name? Not Lucas Brown. Big
Yeah.
Daddy Brown.
Yeah, Lucas Brown.
Yeah.
But
Anthony Mundane.
But don't you think they only get their exposure once they come? I didn't know about Lucas Brown till he came up. Wait.
No, I knew about him. Anthony Mundane. Costa Jew.
Is this back then, though?
Yeah, back in the day. But I'm a master aficionado, you see. So the average wouldn't know about these people. But yeah. I know what you mean. Boxing's not a hotbed in Australia unless... And
the level, I can't say the level last night after watching him because I thought he was brilliant. But
and Costa Jew was serious as well.
Yeah.
And even his son, Tim.
Yeah.
Costa Jew was serious as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, I didn't think about Australia. I knew I could come here. I knew I could get a passport. I knew I'd seen Team GB at the World Championships and how serious they were. And I would have probably chose to go to America, but that was just like a whole next thing.
Level,
like
yeah, I understand. So,
excuse me. Yeah.
So then, what did you think about that fight last night of Jai Opetaia and Jordan Thompson? Because that's basically that was New Zealand versus Jamaica there almost. What do you think about the fight though?
Like I said, I hadn't watched
Jai before.
Yeah, so
was you impressed by him?
Fuck, I was like...
Shall I tell you what? I'm gonna release it. I'm telling you, listen. You see Tyson Fury when he's fighting Usyk, he needs to employ Jai Opetaia as his chief sparring partner because that is the closest he's gonna get to mirroring Usyk with that southpaw stance. Because what he is, that Jai Opetaia, he fights like a cross between Usyk and Bivol with that mad like Ryu Ken footwork, and then that southpaw thing, and then the Usyk. So he's like a Bivol Usyk. In one. So yeah, man, I think he's a serious.
We might see that. We might see him in the camp.
Yeah, and especially with Joseph Parker as well. And Joseph Parker, and he reminds me of Joseph Parker as well. His style as well. Jai Opetaia, when Joseph Parker was more trimmer. Now he's bulking up and he's making himself a bit slower. But when he's
quite bouncy, isn't he? I was thinking like, oh, he's still kind of boxing with that amateur style. Yeah. When I was like, he might not have power if he's bouncing around like that. He like Bivol
doesn't have power because he bounces too much.
Yeah.
And Joseph Parker used to bounce a lot and have fast hands, but yeah, he knows how to plant.
It's like he bounces his way in and then sits on his shots.
Yeah, he's very I like him.
I was inspired. Like I don't like I've told you before. Like I'm not really like a boxing like lover of like I want to stay up and watch these fights. But like last night, that was like excited me to watch. Like that's the first time I felt like that for a long time.
No, so a big up Jai Opetaia, man, and also shout out Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. For helping reopen my old amateur club, the Lynn AC, giving a sponsor donation. They opened up on Thursday, and they gave tickets to the young kids. One boy, he won the ringside tickets and all.
Was that for doing that plank or?
You're doing the plank. Yeah.
Was it 13 minutes?
Over 13 minutes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that kid, he's gonna. So shout out to you. I forgot your name, but I remember your mum was there rooting you on and Yeah, man, you done big, and big up Sonny Edwards. He was there. I didn't even know he boxed for the cup, but yeah, lots of great champions out of that gym. So yeah, shout out to Matchroom and Eddie Hearn, and yeah, good, big ups. So yeah, so you came to England to because you saw it was a better sort of hot bed of opportunities for boxing. So then, how did you find it when you came over here? Like, what was it the first time you'd actually come here?
No, I'd come when I was 18. I came for about 3 months. So I kind of knew I wasn't boxing at that time. That was like 2012. That was just before I'd like gone back and started boxing. So I didn't, it's not like I was here looking at the boxing or anything, but I kind of knew that I would like to come back here type thing. Like it was a country that I liked.
Okay. So then did you get into boxing over here straight away, or?
Yeah, more or less. I mean, I didn't come over with much money. So I'd been working as a personal trainer, and I got a job. I went to Manchester. I was staying with my aunt up there. And I got a job like in a gym up there, but like self-employed. So it took me like a few months of just grafting, like trying to get my base and get my own place in Manchester and build up a client base so that I could actually afford to live here. And then I started training at Oliver's gym. I don't know if you know Oliver Harrison.
Oh, Oliver Harrison,
Salford.
yeah. He used to train Amir Khan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jamie Moore and Rocky
Jamie
Fielding
Moore,
and Martin Murray.
and,
he's had a lot of champions in there.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Yeah. So I trained in there. But my goal was always to come to London. It was just because I had some family in Manchester, and obviously cheaper and easier to set myself up there. And then I came down. I have aunt and uncle on my mum's side in Essex and cousins. So my cousin let me stay there for a few weeks, and I got a nannying job.
Okay.
Yeah, that was in beginning of 2017. I just came down. I probably stayed there for a couple of weeks, found a nanny job, live-in nanny job in Streatham, and yeah, I worked there for 2 years. That was the most amazing thing. Like, I'm so glad I did that. Yeah, the timing was perfect with my boxing, and the family was so nice. I still keep in contact with them now and spend Christmases with them, and yeah, so that was nice to like have a home. That was really, really nice. And boxing, and then ended up at Sam's. Well, he didn't even have Churchill's when I met Sam. Sam Mullins, my coach. We were training in the Pimlico Plumbers work gym.
Okay.
In the offices. Yeah.
I remember his dad. His dad. The secret millionaire.
Yeah.
He was on that show. Yeah, because I know Sam through when he came over from the Fisher ABC to the Lynn AC where I used to box.
That's where you box. And tell us about your amateur fights.
Yeah, I had 45 amateur bouts. Boxed for South East London, England once, done all the tournaments, boxed abroad and stuff. So yeah, I know when he brought Obed, Chris Congo over. And then we had lots of fighters in there. We had Charlie Edwards when Gary from Holland brought him over, Sonny Edwards, Daniel Dubois, Lerone Richards. Obviously, I brought Craig Richards to the gym. Isaac Chamberlain. Yeah, we had lots of fighters up in there. John Lee Garton. It was good times. Sam Mullins. I remember we went away to Liverpool. He's got a nickname for me called the Alley Cat. You'll have to ask him about that story.
I'm
not telling you about it.
I'll ask him tomorrow.
Yeah, that is funny. But big up Sam Mullins. So so you was training in Pimlico Plumbers.
Yeah, and we were registered at Nemesis in Kent.
Oh, Nemesis, yeah.
Yeah, so we used to
the
Tony.
Pettits. Yeah, Tony Pettit.
Yeah, we used to train there a couple of days a week, train in that gym, and then we used to train at the Black Prince Trust, which is now Don Davis gym. but it just used to be a ring in there, and we used to go there for sparring. So we were like all over the place. Like with Sam, we used to just do whatever to like make sure he could have his amateurs. He only had a few of us. Ramla Ali was there. Charlie Driscoll. Yeah, he was pro. Louis Lynn.
Yeah, he used to box with Lynn as well.
Yeah, Ellie Scottney.
Yeah, Ellie was at she started off at Lynn.
Yeah,
I remember she was a little cannonball. She used to punch up boys in the gym.
Really?
Yeah. She was serious. She was violent, man.
Yeah. No, look at where she is now.
Yeah. So well done to her.
Yeah. So and then in 2018, that's when Sam built Churchill's, and been in there ever since.
So then I saw you had a MMA career. So how did that come about?
So I because I don't know what happened. It was like, because I'd boxed at the World Championships, but it was my 7th fight. And then I'd only had one fight when I came here, and that was at the Novice Championships. I won the novices, but like with one fight in 2016, fighting out of Oliver's. And then so I entered the Haringey. I couldn't get any matches. I knocked out a couple of girls in sparring, and then that got around, and then I couldn't get any matches. On club shows and stuff. Yeah. People didn't want to, there wasn't many girls at my weight anyway. And then I entered the Haringey with the whatever it is, the I think it's like 5, there's the different categories, like under 5 bouts, and then 5 to 10. I entered like the 5 to 10, and there was one other girl in there, or 2 girls, and then I don't know if someone Googled me, and then they were like, she shouldn't be boxing, she's not a novice because she's boxed at the World Championships. So then I got moved to the elites, and there was no one in the elites. So I ended up at the Haringey with no fight. Then I ended up I entered the ABAs the year after. There was no, I'm waiting 6 months at a time to go in these tournaments. Then there was no, I think I entered at middleweight, because that was the weight I'd always boxed at, middleweight.
75 kilos.
Yeah. There was no one in the ABAs at middleweight. And then the year after I went in at light heavy, because there'd been a girl at light heavy and no one at middle. And then I went in at light heavy, and then there was no one at light heavy. So it was just so frustrating. I hadn't had a fight in years, probably a year and a half, 2 years. I hadn't had an amateur fight. And amateurs, you're meant to be out regular. You're meant to be out you're meant to be out often. But there was I just couldn't get any fights. And so I boxed in the GB Championships. For England against GB, and oh my god, it was the worst fucking performance I've ever had. It was so embarrassing. I think I hadn't fought for so long, and she'd just come back. I think she'd got a silver at the Europeans, and so she was very active and sharp. Yeah, she was 5'11". She was massive. I'm only 5'6", and I don't know, my head movement, my timing, I just was so off, and so I lost that fight, and then couldn't get another fight. And then I was Sam was do you know what? You might as well just turn pro. My style's better suited to pro. And so we started making the movements to go pro. And then I signed to MTK. I was the first woman to sign to MTK. It was all this stuff was going on, and it looked really good. And then a week before my pro debut, I'd sold I don't know, just under 200 tickets. And, it was the most exciting time, everything I've come to England for. And then I got pulled off the card. And they said that there was something wrong with my brain scan.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, I went back to New Zealand. I was just so depressed, heartbroken, what the fuck, this is meant to be my purpose. I've given up everything to come and pursue this, and now they're saying there's something wrong with my brain scan. It wasn't a bleed on the brain or an impact or injury. It was, they said that there was it's called an arachnoid cyst. Okay. So it's basically you'd be born with it. It's just a little, I don't know, they said it's when I went to a neurologist, he said it would be a benign tumor. Excuse me. And that, I would have been born with it. It's not going to affect me, but they can't remove. It's too risky to remove it. Like it's not affecting me. They wouldn't do brain surgery. So yeah, I was like devastated. I was like so depressed for months, and then Sam actually pushed me to go for another brain scan. I was thinking to go back to riding horses and stuff. Like my mum was like, oh, I don't want you falling off a horse. If they're saying that an impact to your head can be fatal, so like you need to be careful what you're doing. So I went for this other brain scan and it came back clear. That was in 2019, 6 months later. And but the British board still said no. They said, we've said that you've got a issue on your brain scan, and like basically they weren't taking the
risks.
Yeah. Obviously they've got insurance if something happens to me, where they've already said they think there's a big issue on my brain scan. They're not willing to accept the second brain scan. I said, all right, let me go for a third brain scan. They were like, don't bother. Like, we've said that you're not having a British license. I was like, this whole thing was just unreal. Like, you know, to feel like I've got something wrong, to then find out that there's nothing wrong, and then to still be told no. So yeah, I was like, I was lost for a long time. Like after that, I was very lost. I was like partying. I was like, I just crumbled really. Like I couldn't handle, especially, you know, I'd put every day I would be training so hard, training like 2-3 times a day. Like I would get up before the girl would wake up. I would go for the run before the parents would go to work. Then I would take her to school. Then I would go to the gym again. Then pick her up from school and then look after her in the evening. The parents would get home. I might go to the gym again. You know, like my whole life had been around boxing. And then to not have a goal and not to have anything to work towards, I just literally like, yeah, didn't know what to do with myself. I was like, then I started doing bodybuilding, which I found just tedious, and like being so obsessed with how I looked. I'd already struggled with an eating disorder when I was younger. Like it wasn't great for my head. And then, yeah, I was just like moping around life, like just sort of no direction. Basically living the life that I never wanted to live, you know, we're living toward the weekend, looking toward the weekend as my highlight, going out partying, drinking too much. And one of my clients was an MMA fighter. I used to help him with his boxing.
Yeah.
And he was like, why don't you come with me? You know, I'm training at this really good gym, London Shoot Fighters, you know, all these big famous fighters from Bellator and UFC and this and that. Like they all train there. Like, why don't you just come and try a grappling session with me? And I was like, yeah, whatever. Like I was meant to do cardio, I think, for the bodybuilding, like walk on the treadmill or some bullshit. Incline. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, go on then. I'll do it as my cardio. And I did this wrestling session, I think, or wrestling and jiu-jitsu. And I got that same feeling of like, oh my God, like this is amazing. Like I think I really need that, like, not necessarily something aggressive, but I need that way to like get my energy out, like really do something to really get my energy out. And yeah, I loved that. And spoke to the coaches, Alexis and Paul at Shoot Fighters, and said, like, telling them my situation. I was a bit worried, you know, am I too old and whatever to be starting a new sport? And yeah, basically they were like, nah, like you're young in MMA, you know, if you want to do it, like you've got the foundation of a sport, like doing boxing, like it would be relatively easy to pick up the other sports to fight on an amateur level. So yeah, I just picked up that, and that was in 2020. Yeah. I did that for about 2 years. Took a couple breaks. I got injured, so like I've never got injured like I did in MMA. Like that, this is just a crazy sport.
I've done it. Yeah.
Crazy neck.
Well, not fights, just the training.
Yeah, no, but you're getting thrown around. You're getting literally picked up and slammed on the ground every day. Like my body could not handle it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I took a couple breaks with injuries. But yeah, about 2 years, and I had a fight, just one fight in last year. Yeah, first MMA fight. Yeah. I was like determined. I was like, I have to win by submission. I won by head and arm triangle. I was like, I'm not going to win by knockout because everyone just expects me to go on and like punch her up. I have to. I just took her down straight away. Won by submission, yeah. Yeah,
no, that's big. So then you had your first pro fight.
Yeah.
So what was that feeling like to finally get in the, you know, the ring, and how did you feel your performance went?
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was a bit disappointed.
Yeah.
Because she did not want it. She did not want to have a fight. And my MMA opponent had been similar. And, you know, you do this hard camp and you imagine getting beaten and you're nervous all through. Like, I get mad. I get so nervous. Like, in the camp. Not before the fight, but in the camp. Like, fuck, what if I get beaten up? What if I get knocked out? What if I'm just hype? Like, what if I'm this? What if I'm that? And I'm so negative, like pushes me to train so hard. And you get in the ring and you're expecting a fight and someone doesn't really want it with you. I was literally putting my hands down, trying to bait her to come, and like, yeah, she wasn't really on it. She like threw a couple shots and I think I countered her. She just realized like, just let me get out of here. But yeah, I was happy with my performance. I tried to like, I didn't, my MMA fight finished in like 36 seconds. I just went in, boom, 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 like ended it. And I didn't want to do that. I tried to like, Sam was like, look, it's a 6-round fight. Like at least get to the 3rd round. Like don't just go in there and blast her out. Like, so yeah, I tried to like carry it through and yeah, just to have that ring time and get that experience, because, you know, women's boxing, you get like, you don't get rushed, but there's only 30 women in the division.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of get as much experience from each fight as you can. But yeah, it would be nice to have a fight.
Yeah. So what's next now for you then? Because I see you're the #1 ranked light heavyweight in
that
world.
was a mistake.
Oh.
No, for me, I mean, I weighed on my scales at the hotel, I was hit the super middle mark. And then when we got to the venue, I was over by a few grams, and that put me at light heavy. So that put me at #1. But yeah, it's not my goal really to stay at light heweigh. It's too big for me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you're gonna go super middle then?
Yeah, super middle.
Okay. So we're gonna go into. So any fight news or any news coming?
No news. I actually still can't box in the UK. I have a Californian license. Okay. I've had another brain scan that came back clear. But because I was denied in 2018, the board won't allow me to fight on a foreign license, which I understand. They don't want people just getting declined for a reason, a valid reason, and then just going abroad and then coming back with a foreign license, because everyone would do that. There'd be no point in them. Yeah. Yeah. But at the moment they're looking at my medicals. I mean, they've been looking at my medicals for like 3 months, 2-3 months, to see whether they'll let me box in England.
Yeah.
But yeah,
stay positive, because there's a guy I know I met last week. He said that he got turned down for a brain scan a few years ago, and he said that he finally got his license and he's having his first bout. It's October now, isn't it? So this month, the end of this month, he's having his first bout.
Wow.
So yeah, so things can.
What, 3 years later?
Yeah. But you obviously you've had a pro fight, but this guy I don't know is.
Was that like a bleed on the brain or something? Because I know sometimes, like, I've heard of people failing brain scans because they might have a shadow, which can sometimes look like a bleed or not, or it could be from an injury and then it clears up. And then they'll get given their license like after another brain scan. But yeah, we'll see. I'm trying to stay positive.
Always stay positive. But so we're gonna go into the penultimate round.
The what?
Penultimate round.
Is this where you ask me questions?
Yeah. So you've watched clips, you said.
Yeah, I don't know about this. I feel like you're going to ask me something crazy.
No.
That I'm not going to know the answer to.
No, these are all. It's just it's choice questions. It's one or the other. So let's get into it.
If you mug me up, I'll
Red corner or blue corner?
Oh, I'm getting all
You're
aggressive.
gonna walk. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. These modern women, you know. So I'm gonna have to regulate you. You know?
Oh, red corner, blue corner. Don't care. Do I have to pick one?
Yes.
No, I don't care either.
Just say one.
Blue.
Left hook or straight right?
Left hook.
For glove brands, yeah. Everlast or Fly?
Everlast.
Cleto Rays or Grants?
Grant.
Rival or Winning?
Winning.
For boots, Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
Everlast boots or Lonsdale boots?
Everlast.
For venues, York Hall or Wembley Arena, AO Arena?
Ooh. York Hall's quite nice and intimate. Like, it can feel packed even if it's not. Wembley.
O2 Arena.
O2.
Oh, okay.
What was the other option?
Wembley Stadium.
Yeah, O2.
Tupac or Biggie?
Tupac.
Nas or Jay-Z?
Nas.
I know this answer already, but I have to answer
Mike
it.
Tyson.
Ali or Tyson? Jack Johnson or Joe Lewis?
Joe Lewis.
Sugar Ray Robinson or Sugar Ray Leonard?
Leonard.
Michael Buffer or Jimmy Lennon Jr.?
Buffer.
Jimmy Lennon Jr. is the one who goes, it's showtime. You know?
Buffer.
Yeah, Buffer, yeah. So for referees, Mills Lane or Steve Willis?
Don't know. Oh, is Steve Willis the black guy?
Yeah,
Him.
yeah. So
How did I know that? Yeah, him.
you know stuff. Don't underestimate yourself. Beterbiev or Bivol?
Don't know.
Don't know. All right.
least I'm
Canelo or
honest.
David Benavidez?
Canelo.
Devin Haney or Shakur Stevenson?
Haney.
Chris Billam-Smith or Jai Patai?
Upper tire. Whoa! That's a big fight. That's a big fight. I called it now.
And you was at both of their last fights, to be fair.
Yeah.
Fury or Usyk?
Fury.
I'm going Usyk. AJ or Wilder?
Wilder.
Joshua Buatsi or Anthony Yard?
Boetzy.
Chantel Cameron or
Chantal Cameron.
Katie Taylor too? Savannah Marshall or Shadesha Green?
Shadesha Green.
For fantasy fights from New Zealand, yeah? David Tua or
Whoa,
Joseph
how do you know
Parker?
about David Tua? I
Come
love
on.
David Tua.
David Tua or Joseph
Yeah,
Parker?
David Tua. Come on.
Come on, I'm the master. England, Red and Whites or New Zealand All Blacks?
All Blacks.
Jonah Lomu or Christian Cullen?
I don't know rugby. I know Jonah Lomu.
Yeah, he's the man, innit?
Who's the other guy? Is he from the All Blacks?
Yeah, he's from the All Blacks, but yeah, he was like
Oh,
a flanker guy type guy.
yeah.
But yeah. BMW or Mercedes?
Mercedes.
Audi or Lexus?
Audi.
Rolls Royce or Bentley?
Rolls Royce.
Dark skin or light skin?
Is that a serious question?
Yeah, I always ask it.
What? As in myself?
No, man.
Oh. Don't know. Pass.
Bald head or locks?
Neither.
So skin fade it is. Alright, so what's my looks or personality?
Both.
Uh,
Sorry, I'm being really difficult.
height or quality footwear?
Height or quality footwear?
Yeah, because I know
Height.
women look at men's footwear first,
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
but height.
I saw a guy wearing Harachis the other day.
So what do you think about guys who are wearing these big mad platform kicks lately?
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Okay.
I don't mind that. No, let me say height, because,
Yeah.
yeah. but not Hirachis.
Love of your life or career of your dreams?
Career of my dreams.
For music, garage or house?
House.
R&B or slow jams?
R&B.
Dancehall or Afro beats?
Dancehall.
Soca or calypso?
Soca.
Cod and chips or white baked fritters and chips?
Cod and chips.
You know about white baked fritters and chips? That's the
we actually have
New
them in,
Zealand.
I feel like that's a New Zealand thing. Yeah, I don't think we've ever had one.
I'll do my thing. Lamington or golden kiwi?
Is this a New Zealand thing?
Yeah. Desserts they are.
What's a golden kiwi?
It was this golden kiwi looking thing. I've never tried.
Oh, the fruit.
Yeah.
Oh, golden kiwi.
Yeah.
You guys have them here.
Do we? Oh, I've never
The
tried.
kiwis that aren't green, they're gold on the inside. You know?
Okay.
And they're not as furry.
Okay.
They're really nice. Lamingtons, though. Have you had a lamington?
Never. You're going to have to bring me one. Champagne or Prosecco?
Neither. Give me anxiety.
Shots or cocktails?
Cocktails. Shots. One shot. You don't want you don't want to see me one shot.
Oh my God. Oxtail rice and peas or curry goat? With
Oxtail.
Voss or Fiji?
Voss.
Evian or Volvic?
Volvic. Don't like Evian. Do you?
Nah,
It's weird.
Tastes a bit. Yeah, tastes a bit.
And you gave me
volcanic.
the Evian.
Yeah, come on.
Take the piss out of me.
Matchroom or Queensbury?
Matchroom.
Wasserman or Boxer?
Boxer.
Top Rank or PBC?
Top Rank.
Black Box Global or Goodwin Boxing?
Black Box.
Town or countryside for lifestyle? Like,
Town or countryside?
yeah, do you feel like?
Yeah,
town,
countryside.
Countryside, yeah.
Mm.
And then last question, handbags or shoes?
Handbags.
Okay. And that is the end of the penultimate round. So, yeah. You done what? See, it went mad, was it?
No.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, so I see you got your pet dog. I see today you said you wanted someone to take care of him for a few months. So what's going on?
None of your goddamn business.
Okay, you told me afterwards. So how was the Bugsy Malone party? Any good?
Oh, you lot love it. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. Well, let people know where to find you on your social medias, platforms. Look into that camera.
Roseanna Cox, ROSEANNA_Cox, COX, on TikTok, Instagram. Don't really use Twitter. I think it's Roseanna_Cox06 or something like that. It's called X now, isn't it? I'm not up to date with that one. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. And yeah, be sure to hit her up if you need any personal training. Boxing, she was telling me about my jab that I'm going to break my wrist one day. She's saying my jab ain't
yeah, because you always flick it.
Yeah, but that was one time for jab. No, I need to sharpen up. It's been a while, but yeah. No, thank you for coming on. Yeah, it's been a pleasure, and we'll definitely catch up again soon. So yes, there you go, guys. It's another episode of the Neutral Corner. It's Danny Glover. He's proudly sponsored by Treasure Boxing Club. Shout out to Ragatonic for the drink sponsorship. And we've had another episode of the Neutral Corner with our guest, Roseanna Cox. And remember, guys, persistence beats resistance. You know where it is.